want to call the Borough Board evening session into session. So we had just temporarily adjourned this morning's meeting, so we can go right into the evening session. Because for part of the meeting, we didn't have a quorum this morning. I just want to get some of the housekeeping out of the way. So, okay, so attendance, we are just missing Jerry, but he is excused. He had a family emergency. I know Brooke sent everybody a copy of the minutes. If everybody's reviewed them, can I entertain a motion to accept? Nick first, Bob second. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to move right into our presentations then. So, Meals on Wheels, you're up.
Thank you, Marie. Thank everyone, members of the community boards and representatives from our city council reps, and of course, our borough president, Jimmy Otto. Thank you for this opportunity again this year to present testimony for the borough board public hearing preliminary budget fiscal year 2021. This year I will again describe the status of our plan to develop 1.5 acres on the CB campus for building the new Meals on Wheels of Staten Island facility, which will house a 10,000 square foot kitchen, our offices and support our delivery and distribution capabilities. We've obtained various city approvals, required submissions of plans, surveys, information required to move forward. We've also modified in recent years, because this plan has been in process now for several years, as you may know. We've modified plans for use of space in order to make it more affordable. We did select a general contractor after a rebidding process and have moved forward with that. We've had regular meetings with that contractor, going line by line, very detailed in the project, and continue to pursue funding for this project, and actually recently had an additional work with New York City Capital Grant applications to secure the balance that will help us, enable us to fund and move forward. We're serving a census of over 1,300 recipients. Still average age 84. Over 2/3 of our recipients are over age 75. Still receiving 2 meals daily, meeting the 1/3 RDA or DRI is now referred to. Nutritious, approved, low fat, low sodium, and responsive to individual dietary requirements. A significant percentage of our recipients have diabetes or need a renal diet, kidney disease, diverticulosis, allergies, etc. It's having registered nurses on staff who can be part of that evaluation, consult with physicians to ensure we're not just sending out 2 meals a day, we're sending out the right nutrition to help keep people healthy. We provide kosher and halal meals through a subcontractor throughout the entire borough, and we're moving forward with Department for the Aging incentives to increase choice options for meal recipients. As of next fiscal year, this is a bidding year, we are bidding for a renewal of our contract, as is the rest of the city, the other 22 contracts citywide. The city is encouraging additional choice, so instead of sending out 1 hot meal, 1 chilled meal every day as we do, we need to inform our recipients of a choice of a hot meal, choice of chilled meals, choice of the cold meal. So that'll be a challenge for us to produce all that. We currently do an alternate meal every day anyway, because many of our recipients need an alternate to what might be the primary meal. Volunteering, of course, is a very important part of what we do. We emphasize the importance of daily contact between the deliverer and our meal recipient, to monitor their daily basis, monitor them on a daily basis, affirm their well-being, partnering also with 21 programs that serve the special needs community, whose consumers assist in delivering meals, assembling, mailing, and packaging meals in our kitchen. Wonderful, I call it just a beautiful win-win partnership we have with those 21 agencies. We receive valuable service. They're providing valuable activity for their consumers, and it's not a penny's pass between us. We get mutual value and service to our meal recipients. We may often be the only face-to-face contact with our meal recipients. We're reading more and more about, and we're seeing, our nurses are seeing more and more people who are being called elder orphans, older people living alone and asking for emergency contact when they can't identify one. It's become part of the importance of our triaging levels of need We're working with Borough Hall, Dr. Mantello, and in concert with Center University Hospital Food as Health Program, promoting increased healthy nutrition. Our nurses have been an important part of a process to enable baseline health information for intake and move forward with that and ensure that we're delivering healthy nutrition. And we'll be working with Borough Hall on that project this coming year. The city still provides is projecting a very significant increase in our older adult community over the next several decades on Staten Island. The projection has been a doubling of our older adult population from 2000 to 2030. We're seeing that now. We are bursting at the seams. While we're planning to build this new facility, we remain committed to not have a waiting list, but the impact on staffing, the impact on space, we are, right now, even with a plan to build a new kitchen, we're ordering another walk-in freezer and an walk-in refrigerator to ensure that we have the capacity to maintain our commitment. Hopefully we'll be able to disassemble those and bring them with us. These are refrigerators and freezers we build. We just don't wheel them in. We continue to be part of oh, by the way, and I add that we are, with the growth that I've described, we anticipate this fiscal year through June 30th, to overserve our DFTA-funded contract by 30,000 meals, at least 30,000 meals. That's based upon year-to-date and at what level that we're at and what we're projecting for the months of February through March, except through June. Our fundraising is very important for that. And hopefully DFTA Pump for the Aging will fund some of that. Important thing to note is our involvement with the Food Act. New York City, Meals on Wheels Staten Island is the Staten Island member of the New York City Emergency Management Food Access Lead Team. Without growth, by the way, I want to point out for Community Board 3 and Councilman Borelli's office, a lot of our growth has been on the South Shore. It's hard to explain, hard to understand. The number of volunteer routes, the growth of our routes has just been phenomenal out there. We're really doing a lot, and we have now 2 vehicles delivering food to volunteers out there, contemplating a 3rd. For whatever reason, the growth out there has been dramatic. We're part of the Food Access Lead Team. We're the only member of that group. This morning, we had one of our regular meetings in Manhattan of the Food Access Lead Team, and as you might think, the topic was the coronavirus, and talking about how each of us would respond to that. We have plans at Meals on Wheels how to respond. For example, if individuals become isolated, have to remain in their houses. We also have our own internal plans. We're upping our annual flu protocols, but this is at another level. Hopefully it does not have to go to a higher level where but we have an older, frail population and people in and out delivering food all the time. We are very mindful of that. 2 days ago, we had the Staten Island COAD meeting, the Community Organizations Against Disaster. I co-chaired that group. The topic there was the same. We had people from the Department of Health and Department of Emergency Management talking about our Staten Island response to potential very difficult situation related to the coronavirus. So we're all working on that. It's an important part of what we do beyond the meals that we're serving. With that, I have a few other items just on some of the other contracts that we do. We do provide services for Arch Care PACE program and DFTA-funded Pride program, and one of the pieces I often mention is when we get that new facility built, the building in Port Richmond I see having an important role in other food-related projects. It doubles the importance of us getting that kitchen started and built. Any questions?
So you've got your application in, right?
Got the application in, and
because I don't have access, we don't have access to the system yet.
Yeah, I went through a week of that, getting an application in, and then dealing with
yeah, so
EDC about modifications, but they said to stay with my original application.
Okay. Does anybody else have questions?
Yeah.
First of all, I just want to compliment you on the work you've always been doing as a member of you've always been held in the highest regard on our board. And I'd like to know now, if you'd be interested in coming to the board, because I have been asked about if I've seen you and how things are, and if I saw you, what I invite you, just to come down to one of our board meetings and give us an update, just like you did here.
Sure.
we do, the health committee does meet at Ager, and she does a
Yeah.
good job, you know, and, so I think that would round out that whole health committee issue.
Of course.
Okay, I'll
I've
let
spent
Debbie reach out.
24 years on committee.
I know.
Somebody asked, why didn't you wait till the 25th?
I know.
No, I really couldn't give it the time needed,
Hey.
and I chaired the aging committee.
Yeah.
But, yeah, if you,
Okay, I'll let Debbie reach out to you.
We don't give you a watch after 25 years.
no, I should have waited a year, maybe I would have got it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Thank you, thank you. She'll reach out to you.
And
Thank you, Jeff.
Oh, great.
Okay, Noble Maritime Collection, Zero, you're up.
Hello, everyone. So my name is Ciro Bologna Jr. I'm the Executive Director of the Noble Maritime Collection. We're one of the constituent museums at the Carver Cultural Center. I'm grateful to have the opportunity to address Staten Island Borough Board. As a proud native Staten Islander, I'm fortunate to have the opportunity to lead this unique museum. This year will mark my second as director. The Noble Maritime Collection was founded in 1986 to celebrate the work of painter and lithographer John A. Noble. The centerpiece is Noble's houseboat studio, restored and installed inside the museum, much to many visitors' amazement. It embodies Visit Staten Island's slogan, the unexpected borough. The museum's exhibitions interpret Noble's art, the working waterfront, and the history of Salisbury Harbor. Our newest, which will open later this month, highlights the work of a 19th century Brighton artist, D.F. Nielsen. Other exhibitions focus on the history of Robbins Reef Lighthouse, which the museum owns and is restoring. It was announced last year that the city will honor the lighthouse's famous keeper, Catherine Walker, with a statue next to the ferry terminal in St. George. In FY19, we had near record-breaking attendance with close to 18,000 visitors. I'm passionate about ensuring that the exhibitions and programs we offer are more accessible and better utilized by city residents and tourists, but most especially my neighbors across the borough. We are pleased to promote equitable access by offering an admission by donation policy, and most of our programs are free or at low cost. Part of our growth in attendance last year was due to a prominent digital billboard ad campaign, which we ran in both ferry terminals in the summer of 2019 with the support of the New York City and Company Foundation, which is administered through the Borough President's Office. We want to run that dynamic campaign again this summer during peak tourism season, and we have reapplied to the foundation for their support. One of the most important ways we serve Staten Islanders is through our roster of 9 character-based art and history education programs for school children of all ages. Thanks to a 2-year grant from the New York Community Trust, we are working with a consultant to grow the capacity of the education department. Last fiscal year, we worked with nearly 3,200 students, and this is a 22% increase over the previous year, and we will exceed that figure in FY20. Our program director, Dawn Daniels, is able to adapt our programs to meet the needs of students of all abilities, especially those on the spectrum. That is why we are grateful to have had cultural after-school adventure funding from Councilwoman Rose for over a decade to work with special education students at PS 373 in New Brighton. We have requested CASA funding from Councilwoman Rose to continue this work in FY21. We've also requested discretionary funding from the Councilwoman to help fund the entire scope of services we offer through our education department. At the request of the principal of IS7 in Huguenot, we've also applied for funding from Councilman Borelli for a 6-session residency program for special education students who are in need of music education. I thank the Borough President for the capital funding allocation he gave the museum last year for our project to reconstruct the museum's aging facade, and I'm happy to report that the project is now fully funded, and I hope work will begin within the year. Finally, please be aware that we've applied for a 3-year renewal for our funding from the Department of Cultural Affairs. We requested an increase from our previous 6 increases, evident in the growth of our service to the residents of our great city, but particularly Staten Island. So thank you again for giving me the opportunity to speak with you today, and I remain grateful for your leadership, and I'm proud to work with you for the betterment of our
Okay, so I know the initial project was finally fully funded
Yeah.
and moving forth. Do you have a capital ask this year?
I
or
do
just
not. I do. I'm really fully funded. Yeah.
Okay.
It's moving out of the first phase, the first planning phase. So they're moving next into transferring the project from DCLA to DDC.
Okay.
And they're going to be securing the architect and the consultant. So it is moving. I met with the new project director, so I'm going to keep on them. So. Yeah.
Okay. Any members of the board have any questions? Okay,
Very
Thank
good.
you.
Thank you folks very much.
Okay, next we have Northfield. Come on down, Kathleen.
I have testimony here, and then I also included, a flyer that we put together just to give information about, the work that we've accomplished in foreclosure counseling alone, so I'm attaching that as well. So, thank you for having me tonight. Kathleen Bielsa from Northfield Community LDC, we're located in Fort Richmond. Always grateful that we receive your support of the Borough President's Office and our local elected officials, and we're happy to sit here and talk about our, I am happy to come and talk about our, successes over the past year, concerns, and the priorities. So, Northfield, again, we serve the entire borough with our weatherization services, housing counseling, and home repair programs. And our economic development efforts are typically really only in Port Richmond. But, for the families and individuals, it's island-wide. We're pleased to let you know that New York Main Street program yielded 10 new affordable units on Port Richmond Avenue this year. That's state funding, where we were able to work with the developer who owned the property and took a building that was not providing any housing at all, and it's now using a mixed-use building the way it should be used, apartments upstairs and retail downstairs, and we have 10 affordable units on Port Richmond Avenue, so really happy to see that. They should be opening up the doors for rentals in the next couple of months. They don't yet have their CFO. So, again, this year we made free energy improvements and other repairs to more than 100 homes in Staten Island, and that's free. This is a federal program, free of charge to people, whether they own or rent their home. We go in and make energy efficiency improvements and also install smoke detectors, CO detectors, and do air quality testing. Then we helped more than 130 residents with foreclosure counseling services, and we helped many of those clients remain in their home through assisting with mortgage modifications with their banks and or using a MAP loan. MAP loans unfortunately ended. We hope that that opportunity opens up again. The state funding, which helps people that are in foreclosure pay off their arrearage, and then that becomes a lien against their house, which then is resolved when they sell their house at the end. So it's a really good program. Actually, in 2019, we secured 21 MAP loans, and that was a value of $1.2 million. So we also counsel first-time home buyers, and we can serve those that are looking for reverse mortgages as well. We successfully secured New York State Brownfield designation for the Port Richmond Mariners Harbor Brownfield Opportunity Area. The study can actually be found on our website. We're very proud of it. We were told by people at the state that it's actually a very, it reads very nicely too. It's not too dry, and it gives great information, and it tells a lot about the whole area there and the opportunities. So, Northfield obviously as a small nonprofit, securing funding to maintain our service levels is a perennial challenge. We feel it's so important to keep going and keep our organization, striving each year to bring resources to families in the neighborhoods and improve the quality of life so people, for the people who work and live here. General support helps us continue our programs and address the ever-changing needs of the community. It is a priority to maintain our strong housing counseling program, where we offer services in Spanish and Russian. We're again facing a dramatic reduction in foreclosure prevention funds due to a lack of New York State funds dedicated for this purpose. We're still hopeful that the governor and lawmakers will carve out funding to replace the hotline this year, which it has kept it going last year. Another priority is follow up on the recommendations of the Brownfield Opportunity Area Study to facilitate development projects and clean up contaminated properties. We're working with property owners to utilize resources of the Mayor's Office of Environmental Remediation, and we're also seeking funds from the United States EPA and New York State as well, just to get these projects to move forward. Mayor's Office has some funding that will allow us to do environmental reports on individual properties, which will help move the projects forward. So we're kind of those kinds of steps at this moment. And there's also, through our brownfield opportunity area, we recognized an opportunity to develop maritime job training and education to link businesses and educational resources to local residents to fill those maritime positions. And we have been in talks with the College of Staten Island. Nothing has, we have not been able to secure funding to put that together, but College of Staten Island, very interested in trying to work with us and the maritime businesses, get more people involved as it builds. And we also recognize that thriving communities require housing that's affordable to families who live and work here. We hope to encourage thoughtful community conversations in the coming year about responding to the need for housing at all levels, and with the goal to balance stability of the communities where we raise our families. One response to this need for affordable and stable housing is the community land trust model. Northfield LDC is part of the trend in New York City to develop community land trusts. On Staten Island, I think that works best as, I would describe it as a scattered site homeowners association, where the community land trust would own the property, and then it would provide the opportunity for people to buy the house. Might be an individual single family house, but the affordability would remain constant throughout the lifetime of the CLT, which hopefully would be perpetual. And we can use this as a way of possibly resolving zombie homes, which continue to be a problem, and might even be able to find a mechanism to help seniors stay in their homes. We look forward to continuing our work with the Staten Island elected officials and representatives, and certainly enjoy making sure that our work gets done here. So.
Okay. Just two quick questions.
Sure.
For the foreclosure assistance and the home repair, is there income requirements for that?
For foreclosures assistance, no, not really.
Okay.
No. To get a MAP loan, you would need
Yes,
to.
obviously,
You would,
yeah.
but not. We'll help anybody work with their bank.
Okay. And then for the home repair program, I know you have to be a senior, right?
Home repair programs, well, with the Restore program, which we're just wrapping up the funding that we have in place right now, you have to be a senior and you have to be below 80% of AMI, which I don't have that number off the top of my head. We're also working to put in place a grant from the state, Affordable Housing Corporation, and that wouldn't be limited to seniors, but it would, and it does have a different, it's not based on AMI, it's based on a scale, federal home loan, home income limits, and it's just slightly different than, it's just a different chart.
Okay.
And so we can go a little bit higher with that one, but if someone earns more than a certain amount, they might get less of a grant. For that, we can go up to about $15,000 in a person's house. A lot of roofs, front steps, those kinds of things get fixed.
You don't do any commercial properties, because Paul Richmond Strong always comes to us and saying that the zombie properties are mainly commercial properties.
There's a high vacancy rate, and the landlords are vacant. We looked into a property a while back to develop it, and the cost that the owner wants for the property is just not. We certainly would look at any opportunity to try and do something there, but it is difficult.
Is all the information on your website?
Yes.
Pass on to
Yeah.
our board?
Anybody else from the cemetery?
The weatherization services, the income guidelines apply to that program as well, or
That
is
should be on our
bundled in?
website, that's actually lower than 80% of AMI, I think that's about 60% of AMI, yeah.
Okay.
That's it, thank you.
Okay, next up, we have Universal Temple of the Arts Saga. It's, the floor is yours.
Everyone, I got my glasses.
Thank you.
I think I can read it.
Well, you've been doing this for a long time, so I
Yes,
think you can wing it.
You have one then. Okay. Good evening. My name is Sajda Musawira, and I am the Artistic Executive Director of Universal Temple of the Arts. Thank you for allowing me to present to you today. Founded in 1967, Universal Temple of the Arts, UTA, is an arts, educational, and cultural organization. UTA has been providing an array of life enrichment programs to underserved Staten Islanders for over 50 years. Our mission is to quicken the creative spirit in the individual and community and foster brotherly love. UTA is a thriving force in the Staten Island community, fostering culture and artistic development. Our signature programs include sewing, visual arts, music, vocal theater, crochet, jewelry making, and dance instruction. Although our programming spans all age groups, UTA concentrates a majority of our resources towards at-risk youth constituents in an effort to cultivate lifelong scholars, artists, and creative minds. We believe that engaging children through the arts is important because research confirms that the arts play an essential role in educating children by building confidence, self-esteem, problem solving, and communication skills. The arts provide opportunities where young people can creatively express their ideas while making important connections to the other aspects of their lives and future. Currently, we are conducting art residencies at 4 public schools and
One community center.
Do you want me to read it
And
for you,
one
Saj?
community.
Or oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, if you could just, if, whatever
Yeah,
you
if
know
you wanna
off of.
summarize
Yeah, you
it.
don't have to go
I don't
off.
wanna
Well,
make you
I
squint
want
and
you-
hurt your eyes.
No, it's okay, I'm almost through it. Currently, we are in PS 13, PS 18, PS 22, and PS 31. And the Richmond Terrace House, Cornerstone. We also conduct free music assembly programs at schools across the island. Another signature offering is our Staten Island Jazz Festival, which was founded in 1988. The festival was established in 1988 to bring world-class jazz musicians to our local Staten Island community. Over the years, the festival has spurred, what's that?
Tourism.
Yes, at the tourism at the island, with people hailing from other boroughs, New Jersey, DC, and even Europe and Asia. We are appreciative of the Honorable Borough President Otto. We are appreciative of the Honorable Borough President Otto's past support, and UTA would like to request $10,000 in the fiscal year to support relevant fiscal year 20 operating and programmatic costs that
Curate.
all right, curate, thank you, go ahead.
Implementation.
Implementation of the aforementioned programs, offerings, such as supplies and materials for program participants, utilities, and insurances. Thank you again for allowing us to present information about Universal Temple of the Arts funding opportunities. Oh, I just made that name, the word up at the consideration. Sincerely, Sergeant Masuia Ladner. So glad, nobody else is here.
That's fine.
Anyway, that's who we are, and we really do appreciate, what everybody does to help us to continue to do what we do.
We've seen the program at PS 31, it was really fantastic. We sat through a performance of it when we went to go visit the school.
Oh, really? I'm telling you, I'm so happy that we adopted Shakespeare. I'm telling you, especially to people of color, because Shakespeare was an amazing person in a lot of ways. And I tell the children, all through your life, you're going to school and whatnot, you're gonna know about Shakespeare. So with Shakespeare, they learn how to make the costumes, because they learn how to sew. And they also learn how to make the set designs and the drama. And it's a challenge for them to do that. It really is, but we do it, and it's a great honor.
I was rather, the kids really seemed to love it too. They were very, they
Yeah.
engaged, they loved it. Does anybody have any questions? Anybody else?
All right,
Thank
thank you
you.
very much.
Okay, so moving right along, we didn't have any correspondence this month. Does anybody have any old business to bring? Any new business to bring up? No? Okay, can I entertain a motion to adjourn? Bob first, Nick second. Thank you, everybody, for coming.
Thank you.